Hello. I just went live in the wrong group, so I'm here now anyway. I'm very happy to be here, and so this new offering I have called Transmute Distortion has been I've been working with this stuff for a decade, and I have got better and better at it. And even before I was trained in anything, I had to learn how to deal with these energies coming at me. I was messing around with magic and energy healing, and I knew at some point, like, there's energy coming out of my hands. I can see energies, and it was scary at the time. And I didn't really get it, but I knew that it was my calling. And, I think you start experimenting, you're playing with your tarot cards and crystals and all that kind of stuff. But I was also not ready for the amount of energy that was coming through me, and I didn't have enough understanding, and I had to learn the hard way. So there's no regrets, and I don't wish I did anything different, but it felt like I got walloped repeatedly because I was deepening into the realms of the invisible, but not really getting it. But also I was playing with fire. I was not listening to the warnings and to the messages that were being given to me, which was like, you've got to sort your life out, you've got to get boundaries, you've got to understand the impact of the energy and the work that you're doing on people experimentally. You've got to step out of giving your energy and power away. You've got to stop being in the party scene. You've got, there's so many warnings about what I needed to change, and I was struggling to do it. But at the same time, I was being, messing around with energy as well. So all of that combined, and I'd literally obliterated my energy field. Like, I had no energetic protection whatsoever. I was partying sometimes. And in the end, I was infiltrated with so many lower dimensional energies and ancestral kind of like attitudes and mindsets that were really not helpful, quite toxic. I was just open to all the elements that could, like, any weakness in my system was amplified because I had no resilience or protection anymore. And I'd done that to myself. So I had to learn the hard way, and how do I deal with all this? And when you're experimenting with consciousness altering anything and you don't know how to handle it, it can feel potentially quite dangerous. So I'm just going to check, if I can see. Yeah, let me know if you're here and say hello. I'm trying to check that I can see you on the phone. I think that's how you do it. Yeah. So working with energies that distort us from our center, from our grounding, and take us away from our energetic frequency that we have a unique energetic blueprint or frequency that we come here with. And that can be a combination of different influences and energies that are part of your mission to kind of spread around wherever you go, whether that's love frequencies or Pleiadian and Andromeda or Starseed, or earth frequencies, or your earth keeper, a way shower, a wisdom keeper, whatever influences and energies you've come here with, and for whatever purpose, that is unique to you. And what can happen in the world that we are in, and there is interference to that expression. And it's all got to do with power and control. It's got to do with not just the war of minds and division that we see in the here and now, but also a spiritual war and a spiritual vying for attention on earth. And we are the perfect conduits of light and energy and electricity and messages and influences. We are the little lighthouses and little beacons that energies can work through us. And if we're not in our right mind, or in our right hearts, or in our right centeredness and in alignment with who we really are, then we're easily siphoned or easily infiltrated or influenced. And I speak from experience, because I was heavily infiltrated and influenced as a very light being. The shinier you are, the kind of, like a magpie effect, like, oh, shiny, I could plug into that. So, I'm not going to go into all the details of all the kinds of entities and thought forms and lower astral beings and dimensional beings. And, you know, I'm not going to go into the detail because that's what the course is for, because it's pretty advanced stuff in that it's not just messing about with light or just working on your emotional shadow. It is really looking into a much deeper energetics and frequencies of what is not you. So if you don't know who you are, and you don't know what it's like to be in right alignment or embodied or aware of your unique frequencies, and none of this is going to make much sense. So that's where we start, you know, it's like really getting into your centered truth. And, you know, that takes a little bit of doing. And when you are in that position, when you finally are sovereign, and I'll explain that in a second, those outside influences can't really plug in. They can't, because there is no weaknesses in the structure. So sovereignty gets a bit of a, you know, I use the word sovereignty in, you know, spiritual wellness healing circles, and everyone kind of gets what it means. But if you're outside of those circles, it's like, what are you talking about? Is this like about royalty, or like, you know, what is it? So how I would explain it is that if your being has a structure, so let's say the energetic architecture of you as a being is unique to you, but the scaffolding poles and the structures of your energy structure can get infiltrated or weakened or unstable. So when you own or reclaim your energetic frequency, your mind, your heart, your emotional body, if you reclaim that, then you become sovereign. So it's almost like you really know your edges. You really are protected and boundaried. You don't have to, I didn't call this protection because it isn't, you don't have to fight to protect yourself if you are strong and in your energetic structure. So reclaiming all those parts of yourself and you know, decolonizing your mind from thought forms and societal, cultural, ancestral thought forms means that your mind is your own. You are in charge of your creative output. You are not pushed and pulled by outside forces. And so transmuting distortion is learning how to grab, you know, like an earworm, if you like. Imagine like a really, the most obvious one that is almost everyone deals with that is alive today is that I'm not good enough. And that is very clearly and very, you know, everyone can see it. It's in our schooling structures, it's in the media, you know, you're not, if you're not beautiful enough or this, that, or the other enough, then, you know, you're not enough. So the whole advertising industry is based on you're not good enough unless you have this thing. And then it's in our schooling system and we're all pitted against each other, you know, so, you know, your grades are average, so you're not quite good enough for the top, you know, that kind of thing. Or people fight constantly to be good enough and be perfect enough and be seen, you know, and that kind of thing. So in our, you know, from growing up in today's world, the I'm not good enough thing is a huge thought form or emotional structure. And it really destabilizes our centeredness. You know, the ego, the human ego just wants to be good and right. So we fight for that our whole lives. So if you could reclaim this beautiful, powerful, resilient core sense of self, and you're pulling your energy and your power and reclaiming the entire of your mind and your heart and your energetic structures, then it's so that really we're not sitting there like battling and fighting a thought form, you know, like fisticuffs with the thought form. You're learning to reclaim your mind where those thought forms, imagine like a, I don't know, it could be like a giant earworm, you know, something chatting, you're not good enough, you're not this enough, you're not beautiful enough, your body's not, you know, all that stuff. Is we're learning how to weed out all that is not you at the core. So it's a beautiful journey. And for me, learning to transmute distortion on many different levels was a massive initiation into becoming a very proficient grounded healer that feels like I could take on anything really. So I feel that this work is essential to you if you are, you know, in the wellness industries and you're working with people's energies and you're working with, you know, if you're finding yourself in client situations or group situations and you can feel that there's, you know, funny energies that move around, you know, you can really feel it, like suddenly there's something stopping your brain working, or your left and your right eye look feeling funny, or you know, you can feel that something isn't right. It's hard to explain exactly. I think those of you that are practitioners will know if you need this or not, or if you're already aware of how to work with this stuff, great. But if you need a bit of a, you know, and more in-depth reclamation of your sovereignty as a unique frequency on the planet, so that you can actually express yourself and actually become, you know, badass at actually showing up for other people's distortion as well as your own, then this is for you. And I look forward to hearing from you. And there are a bunch of different price points because I really wanted this to be accessible. So basically you can just join the workshop where I'm teaching, you know, for 5 weeks, different aspects of this. And there's like guided meditations and Q&A type, question time, coaching time. You can just do that for a ridiculous price, and there's an early bird price before 15th of December. And then you can add on the kinesiology aspect. So you do that part, you do the no, it's called track no, and then you can do track no and embed. And the kinesiology, adding the group kinesiology is really powerful. I use it in my Love Again, Heart Retrieval, Visibility Gateway, Money Gateway, and it is really to embed all of the shifts and changes and, you know, like really get your energetic structure strong, so that, you know, as an example, when doing this work for me is so important as a practitioner and as a teacher and a mentor and group work and everything, is that a lot, you know, it's a natural human thing for people to project onto you, certainly when you're visible. And, you know, those energies can be quite destabilizing. They're not necessarily off planet. It could be just someone's psychic energy is of influencing you, and you can feel it and you're like, oh, something's not right. And so I've developed a way of, I've got several tripwires that are in my energy field, so I can feel before it even touches me. I can feel if there's energies I need to sort out or work with or clear. This is all super simple but complex, you know, layers of understanding and anatomy of spirit and how the world works and all that kind of thing, and the invisible realms. But working with it is infinitely simple, and it is purely to do with grounded, centered love and reclaiming your territory, which is your mind, your heart, your inner landscape. I look forward to hearing from you. And yeah, there's early bird prices before 15th of December, and then it goes to full price, but it's so, and then you can have 2 tiers. You can just join the workshops, or you can add kinesiology to it too. And yeah, I'm going to be showing up talking about this more in the next few weeks. Yeah, look forward to hearing from you. There's a link in the comments. Bye.